Intro, take 3. You know, you ever get sent out to do a job? Welcome to RCindustry. Guys, I was sent out here to do a job.
Can you guess what that job is?
Back-breaking labor, that's what that is. But I think I got a better plan for this apparatus. Can you figure it out? Can you figure it out? See that thing over there? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The Lime La-Ti-Da. Well, hey, it's Rick here. And we're back today to work on the old LTD. The Lime La-Ti-Da. Got me some parts, went down to a junkyard, found one in DePaul, Indiana. So if you're around this area, I'm telling you what, that's a pretty nice junkyard down there. So I'll try to leave the information in the description. Anyway, got some parts. They had some LTDs down there actually, and so that was pretty cool. Didn't get everything I need, but I did get some stuff I wanted to get for this. So I'll show you more about that later. But before we get too far, since I've got the power washer out, you know, I'm supposed to be doing something else. I thought we'd go ahead and power wash the engine bay and clean that up in there a little bit because, you know, we have got to run the lines for the oil pressure sending unit, or for the gauge, I mean, and we've got to run the thing out to hook into the water channel and make the gauge move and go, so we can find out how hot it is into there, you know? So we got to get all that done, and it's kind of slimy and greasy into there, so, you know, let's clean it up. Don't forget about the NoNameNationals. It's coming up. I think we got 170, I don't know, some days. It's not too many, man, for me. I got to get busy. All right, show you more.
Just like brand used, baby. We got to get this thing ready. You know, get some smoke going.
Oh, well, hey, welcome back. Well, I got to tell you, geez, it's cold out here today now. I ain't kidding. Get this trash bag up off of here. We power washed the engine a little bit, cleaned it up. And I didn't really want all the water going down in there, so I don't really know what happened, but man, it's like 46 degrees out here. You'd think it's April or something. What is going on? Well, as we talked about, I wanted to show you some of the stuff I got at the junkyard. Of course, we know we still ain't got this done yet. Everything we start to do, we have to, you know, yeah, we got to get that done. But, you know, this is the old deteriorated thing here with the broken pernundle selector cable thingy. So this is the one I got at the junkyard. Looks pretty nice, and it actually has the same mileage on it within 600 miles as that one. That's crazy. But as you can see, the back of this one is all in good shape, and the connection is in good shape. And it has the same numbers on it, even though this is a red color instead of green. It's got the same numbers, so I'm assuming that it will work, and it's got a good pernundle shift cable thingy. And then I bought this clock because, you know, why not? So I'm going to have to change where I was going to put these gauges, because now I'm going to put the clock back in there. And then, of course, we've got this to put on there yet. And then I did get a 180-degree thermostat and gasket, so we got to get that put on. But we have to take that all kind of loose when we install the heat sink for the temp gauge. So let's just get started. Oh yeah, and I don't know where this thing goes, but we'll see if we can figure it out. All right, show you more. Well, I guess the first thing we need to do is take this old air pump off and get that thing out of the way. It ain't hooked to anything. And it's just kind of, actually, I don't see what's keeping it on. I think someone tried to take it off one time and maybe didn't know how to do it or something, because it acts like it pretty much is all loose. I wonder if it didn't fall off and tear something up or whatever. I don't know. Hopefully that's not screwed into a water jacket somewhere. If it is, we'll have to figure something out, I guess. But we're not going to be pumping no air on this thing. And it's got some catalytic converter thingies, one on each side on this, that comes off dual exhaust on each side here. And it's got a resonator or something on each bank there, but that's the only thing that's on this. It ain't got no muffler, nothing like that. Man, I think they need to make that a little bit longer. That bolt goes all the way to China. All the way to China. I think that must be as far as she's going to go there. That's out of there. Okay, so I know we're kind of jumping around on things, but you know, I've got to figure out now where I'm going to put this, because you know, as we've been talking about this whole time, I was going to cut this out and put that up in there, but since I bought this clock for the old busted out clock to replace it, yeah, well, so now we got to figure out where to put the gauges. My son said I ought to set them right up here on the dash, and I'm not opposed to that. I'm thinking that might just be an okay idea. I can flip this thing around like this and set them upside down there. Well, not the gauges upside down, but you know, the mount upside down. And so we might look at that, because I hate to put them down here. I like to be able to see them, and the problem in the CrustyChrysler is I put them down so low, and when you was driving down the road, you know, you'd have to get down in here and look to see what was going on, and I don't really want to do that. So, all right, let me see if I can get that figured out. We got to get the cinder unit run through the firewall, and we got to get the hose run through for the oil pressure thing, and then we can get out there and change the stuff out there. We got to take that filler neck off up there where the thermostat goes and all that. So, all right, so let me get some stuff done, and I'll kind of show you where we're at. Well, I think I'm going to go with this setup right here, and I've got a old mirror cover that I think I'll cut down and make me a little plastic chrome doogie whopper to hide all this wires. Because what I'll do is I'll pull this off, and this there's a speaker grill right there, and the speaker is not hooked to anything, obviously. So I think I'll pull that speaker out, bore a hole through that, and run all of my stuff down in through there, and then I've got to find a way to get through the firewall and out to the engine bay, and we'll have to put a grommet in that so that stuff doesn't rub. And I isolated my light bulb turner, or, you know, the feed for my lighting, so I can actually light these up, because that was the problem in the CrustyChrysler too. At night you couldn't see the gauges, so I definitely want to fix that. And this whole, I had to get down in here because the whole fuse block thing, had about half the fuses were burned out. One of them's been so hot where they had this yellow wire plugged in for some kind of accessory that it just melted the whole side of the thing out, so I had to clean that all up. And anyway, all right, enough complaining. Let me get to it, show you some more. All right, got to get this old thing warmed up, and we got our
stripper 9000 out here, and let's see, we're going to need some solder. I thought I brought some solder somewhere. Where's that at? That ain't it. Oh, here we go. Tape and solder right here. So I got me this was already stripped off from where the other people had it stripped off, and they didn't I think that's what shorted it out and burnt the fuse, because this was arcing around in there on this metal plate. So we're going to solder that up, and this will be our wire to feed up and feed our lights on our gauges. So yeah, let's get this thing fired up. Yeah, she's warming right on up. And let's get this soldered. Alright, show you more. Okay, so we got this kind of peeled back here a little bit. And I'm going to introduce some heat to that. I can get this over here where you can see it. I don't know if you can see that or not. If you can't, too bad, because we're going to it. I like to get the end of my soldering gun kind of tinned a little bit there. I know nobody solders anything anymore, but that's alright. We're going to solder this. Maybe. Well, it certainly is melting the plastic. If I could ever hold it still enough. There we go. He's beginning to cooperate a little bit. That ought to be all right. Whoops, can you see that? So anyway, I'm going to finish doing the rest of that, and once I get it ready to hook it all up and everything, well, you know, hey, I'll show you more. I don't know, guys, I'm still soldering wires here. What a mess this thing is. Goodness gracious. We may not get to the rest of this gauge installation stuff today yet. I don't know. I could have just used wire splices on these, or them butt joints, but I thought, well, why not? Just do it old school. And some of you still may use a soldering gun. I don't know. Some of you out there may not even know what a soldering gun is. I don't know that either. Oh yeah, you just got to get her hot. Just pour it to it. There we go. Well, there's the right speaker. Well, let's see. Let's get this plugged in here. Got all my wires connected. Let's see if this thing will come on. Hey! It lit up. I don't know if it works. Better turn that off. We'll get some kind of... How do you make this do something else?
Yeah, just moving as quickly as possible to stabilize the people. And so many people knowing what they're doing all at the same time, and not having to be asked, and just knowing. You know, there's like a sort of an underlying comfort in that, but, you know, we were all shocked, angry.
You said when you went home, it's just anger.
Yeah, it was. I was really angry. It's funny. I was asked to listen to my interview with 10 years. I finally heard myself. Yeah.
I don't even know how you shut it off, guys. It says mute. I don't know. Goodbye. Okay, well, I got that put in there, and that thing there's in there, and I have replaced the fuse down there, and now we got air moving around. Goodbye. And let's see what's in here. Oh, well, we got some stoves in here. Dump them out on the floor. That'll help. Okay. There we go. All right. Okay, let's move on to this thing. We just didn't seem like we got a whole lot done today, but man, that wiring takes a while. So let's just get the new cluster and get it set in there and see if that works. All right, show you more. Okay, guys, well, that thing lights up like it's supposed to, and the fuel gauge is moving on over. Of course, it ain't got much fuel in it, but you know, it's moving, and the prenundle works now. See, look at that. That's not usual. Here's the little piece that was broke off of that cable. I'd say that somebody didn't know how to take it apart when they was putting that strip in there, and they broke that off. But anyway, that fell out of the dash when I was cleaning on it. So, all right, so now we got to get all this piles of stuff out of here. But we've about got as far as we're going to go, I think. So for today, anyway, it's getting kind of late. You know, it's still cool out here, and as the sun is starting to go down a little bit, it's getting cooler. So hopefully, you know, the next time we get out here and work on this, it'll be a little warmer. Run, Tallulah, run! Hi, baby. By the way, that's all that crap I cut out of that car, all them LED lights and transformer, and I don't know what all that stuff does. So if anybody, any one of you, whatever, wants any of that, well, reach out and get a hold of me or whatever, and we'll see you get it somehow. But I'm just not into that. So anyway.